So the first house I purchased, I probably overpaid. I under budgeted. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't calculate for property tax, for interest payments, for heating bills, just like lack of experience, just young and ready to make moves, right? When that house did end up selling, I lost $43,000 in the first house I flipped.
Okay, so let's talk about that. People always talk about their losses, and did you just have that chilling in your bank account? Like, what happens when that happens?
At the time that I'm renovating this home, I am bar backing. Okay, so I'm not making money. When I needed to pay, interest payments or property tax on the home, I was borrowing money from my friends. I borrowed a couple grand here. I borrowed $4,000 from my girlfriend at the time, now wife, right? So I just started borrowing money. I had no money at all. So the funding on that deal was a first position from like a standard hard money lender, and then a second position of a smaller amount from like a friend of mine that I connected with at a 20% interest rate. Okay, by the way, just knowing nothing, I was like, hey, how about 20%?
That was your friend?
So that sounds good.
Your friend?
Yeah.
I don't know if they were your friend, I'll be honest.
He likes to make money. Yeah. He's a businessman.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Can't blame him.
So once I finished the house, I moved to Pittsburgh, but the house didn't sell for about a year and a half later after it was finished. Okay. So probably 6 months in, 9 months into sitting on the market, I'm like, wow, I'm going to lose money. When I moved to Pittsburgh, I moved in a very rough house intentionally to start saving money. I was starting to save money, trying to get caught back up, getting prepared. When the time came that the house was sold and I was going to lose that $43,000, the first investor was going to be fully paid off, I believe, if I remember correctly, or very close to it. Full principal amount plus interest. Okay. And then that second investor, I went to him. I said, you have to sign off on this loan. You have to satisfy the mortgage. And I will pay you back. So when the time came, I was hustling. I had a little bit of money saved up. I sold my vehicle, was able to come up with about $20,000. So I have that 43 grand I owe at the closing table. I was able to come up with an extra 20 grand. So I paid him. Now I'm down to broke, back to zero. And I told that investor, give me time. I'm hustling. I'm making moves. I got my real estate license. I'm down in Pittsburgh and I'll pay you back. It took me about a year and I was just grinding, hustling. And I probably a year and a half and I paid him off.
Wow. Okay. And were they amendable to that, or were they like, okay, this is our last deal, moving on from here, or did they respect that you were able to make it happen?
I mean, I have a great relationship with them today. So yeah, I mean, I think they believed me. I made a mistake, but I'm a man of my word. And like, there was zero question that I would make them whole. And I did. And I didn't just make them whole on their principal amount. I made them whole on the full interest. And that 20% continued to accrue during that time period. So
cool.
There was no adjustment whatsoever.
Good for you. That's really, really, really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.